Have you ever wondered why we make decisions that don't always seem rational? Our brains rely on shortcuts called cognitive biases, automatic patterns that influence nearly every choice we make. But are you aware of the biases shaping your daily decisions, and how can you spot them before they steer you wrong? Stay with me, because understanding these hidden mental patterns can transform the way you think, act, and live. Cognitive biases are systematic patterns of deviation from rational thinking. Essentially, they are mental shortcuts the brain takes to process information efficiently. While they save time and effort, they can also lead to flawed judgments. For example, imagine scrolling through the news. Your brain may focus only on stories that confirm your existing beliefs. Or when choosing a product, you might favor a familiar brand over a better option simply because it's easier to recognize. These are not conscious errors. They are the brain's way of working quickly, often without our awareness. Understanding that biases exist is the first step toward mitigating their effects. Recognizing them empowers you to take a step back and make more deliberate choices. The brain's structure and chemistry underlie cognitive biases. Two main systems influence our decisions. The limbic system, responsible for emotion and reward processing, drives quick, automatic responses. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought and conscious deliberation, can slow down decision-making, but it requires energy and focus. Dopamine also plays a role in reinforcing habits and preferences. When a decision feels rewarding, your brain releases dopamine, making it more likely to repeat the same choice in the future, even if the choice isn't entirely rational. Biases often emerge when the brain prioritizes efficiency over accuracy. Understanding this mechanism explains why it's so easy to fall into repeated errors in judgment and behavior. Awareness allows you to pause, reflect, and engage the rational mind before committing to a choice. Now that we understand the brain's role, let's explore some of the most common cognitive biases that affect everyday life. Confirmation bias, the tendency to seek or interpret information that confirms pre-existing beliefs, while ignoring contradictory evidence. For instance, only reading news sources that align with your opinion. Availability bias, making judgments based on information that is most readily available in memory rather than all relevant data. For example, overestimating the likelihood of plane crashes because they are highly reported. Anchoring effect, relying too heavily on the first piece of information received when making decisions. For example, seeing a high initial price can make a discount seem more appealing, even if the final price isn't ideal. Hindsight bias, the tendency to perceive past events as having been predictable after they occur. "I knew that was going to happen" is a classic example. Overconfidence bias, overestimating your knowledge, skill, or ability to predict outcomes, which can lead to risky decisions. These biases shape our behavior, often without us realizing it. Take a moment to reflect. Which bias do you think affects your decisions the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, because awareness is the first step to change. Cognitive biases influence almost every aspect of daily life. Workplace decisions. Managers might favor employees who remind them of themselves, similarity bias, or stick to familiar strategies even when better options exist. Social interactions. First impressions, stereotypes, and groupthink often skew judgments about others. Consumer choices. Marketing often leverages biases like scarcity, limited time offers, and anchoring to influence purchasing behavior. Biases are not inherently bad. They evolve to help us make quick decisions. But when unchecked, they can lead to poor outcomes, missed opportunities, and unintended consequences. Stay tuned, because next we'll explore strategies to counteract these biases so you can make smarter, more intentional decisions in your daily life. Here are practical, research-backed strategies to reduce the impact of cognitive biases. Awareness and reflection. Simply recognizing that biases exist helps create a mental pause before decisions. Journaling or thinking aloud about your choices can reveal hidden patterns. Slow down decisions. Take time to gather information and consider alternatives, especially for important or high-stakes choices. Seek diverse perspectives. Engaging with people who have different experiences or viewpoints can counteract personal biases and provide a fuller picture. Checklists and structured processes. Using decision frameworks or criteria reduces reliance on intuition alone. For instance, scoring options numerically or weighing pros and cons systematically can help avoid shortcuts driven by bias. Question first impressions. Train yourself to ask, what evidence do I have? Could I be missing something? Before committing to judgments or actions. Consistent application of these strategies helps retrain the brain, making more deliberate, rational decisions a habit rather than a one-off effort. Biases are a natural part of being human. They are shortcuts that make life manageable. But with awareness, reflection, and intentional strategies, you can reduce their influence and improve decision-making. Every small effort to notice, question, and adjust strengthens your mental clarity and control. Which strategy will you use to reduce the impact of biases in your decisions? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you apply these insights. If this video helped you, like and subscribe to HavenErve. And remember, new videos arrive every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.